And as I watch this, I can tell that I took it that day because there's, I don't know, I feel like there's something about my eyes, about my facial gestures that seems kind of stoned. It is Sunday, November 1st, 2020, and on this extra long edition of Sunday Sofa Time, you and I are going to Disney World. Welcome back to this very sort of relaxed, casual Sunday sofa time. I didn't do my hair. I did brush my teeth, however. And you and I are gonna take another trip back in time and go to Disney World. I've been really sort of missing Disney World, or really, you know, like, yearning for a Disney vacation lately. And I know, I should not be complaining. I was at Disney World this year and at Disneyland Paris, and I know a lot of people have not even been lucky enough to do like anything. So I'm by no means complaining, but you know, it's like some people say, oh, I'm so hungry for steak. And then, you know, somebody will always say, but you just had steak last week. But that doesn't mean that I'm still not hungry for it. Of course, I'm not hungry for steak. It was just an example. So I'm not complaining about not going to Disney World, but I'm just saying I miss it. And I know a lot of you miss it too, and so that's why that is gonna be the subject of today's video. If you haven't been to one of these rewind videos or rewind sofa times yet, that is where I pick a video of mine that I haven't watched in a long, long time. I don't know if I've ever watched this one since I posted it. I go back, I go through it, and comment on things that I remember about it now, and maybe give you some like behind the scenes information, and we just sort of like enjoy it together. And the video that we're gonna watch today is called Orlando Venture Disney Day 1 Part 1, and it's almost 16 minutes long. So with my commentary, this is gonna be an extra long video, and I hope you guys hang out until the end. Before I press the button on the time machine here, I just want to tell you two things. One of them is, as I mentioned, the whole country of Germany and also France and other European areas are going to lock down starting tomorrow. So that's going to kind of change some things up. And I talked about that in a video I uploaded on Friday. So check that out for all the information, at least that was current on Friday. Including a cruise that I canceled. And sorry, I keep looking over here because that's where the screen is, but I should be looking at you guys. And another thing I wanted to mention is, starting next Sunday's Sofa Time, I've got something sort of different, kind of special, just something I want to try out planned. So even if you get bored of doing what we're gonna be doing today, please check back next week, all right? All right, so this is a video, like I said, it was posted in 2015, which sometimes doesn't seem like that long ago, and at other times seems like forever ago. And I know that this is one of the first like big trips that I did where I sort of stuck to a specific style of daily vlogging video. And I know when I go through, there's a whole playlist, by the way. This is like 20 videos in this playlist. So if you, if you enjoy, you know, watching this with me today, then look for my Orlando Venture playlist. But, you know, I go through the thumbnails and I can just sort of see like the development of my channel and sort of the brand and the look of my videos and the thumbnails. So let's get into it. Good morning. Good morning. It's our first day at Disney World, our first complete day, and it's starting out with something a little bit uncomfortable. I'm on my way to reception because I'm gonna ask if we can change our room. Oh, yes. All right, I remember what trip this is now. Drama at Port Orleans, VIP at Finding Nemo, Fast Pass Switch Fail, New Fantasyland. Oh, this was our first trip after the new Fantasyland with Seven Dwarves Mine Train was built. And I'm sure I'm gonna talk about why we're switching rooms, so I'm not gonna discuss it with you now. We had a terrible experience last night checking in. It took more than an hour from the time we got to the front desk till we shaky camera work, Morgan. Because they had some so shaky unexplained problem with our magic bands, these things. And then when we got to the room, this was also our first trip to Disney after they introduced magic bands, and that's right, it took them forever. It took us forever to check in. They couldn't get them to link up. They couldn't get the credit card to link up, and then we ended up going to eat, and then they didn't work, and we didn't have any money. It was a it was not a good start to a Disney vacation. I remember that now.
Clean. So we had to call
That's right.
the front desk and have them send somebody to clean it up, and they said that we were getting an upgrade because it took so long with our magic bands, and we were getting upgraded to a pool view, and this is our pool view.
Yes.
So I'm going to ask if they can.
Now I remember.
That, but at least it's a very pretty walk.
Yeah. Oh, that early morning Florida sun, you know, where you're walking through the resort and it's misty and
Extra
cool.
room for us available yet. So technically what we have to do is pack up all our bags as if we're leaving, go to the front desk and check out, put our bags in storage, and then go out and have fun, whatever. And then when we come back tonight, pick up our bags again and go
So
back
shaky,
to
geez.
the room. And now I have to go back and convince Marcus that that's what we're gonna do. Somebody got married. So let me just show you around the room that we're in before we leave so you can get an idea. I'm sure this is a handicap accessible room on the main floor. It's room 8064 at Port Orleans Riverside. Like I said, we already checked in and now we're in the process of checking back out, so forgive our stuff all over the place.
So just to sort of catch you up, and you know, I'm remembering this now, and I definitely have not watched this video since I posted it. So it's been a long time for me. Like I said, we had all those problems checking in, and then they put us in. They were like, "Oh, okay, well, for your inconvenience, we're going to give you an upgrade, a pool view room." And then it was not a pool view room. It was a room next to the pool, but it was under the stairs. So you saw that screenshot out the window. When we looked out the window, we only saw stairs, not pool. And then it wasn't clean. There was paper and, you know, like the plasticky things from t-shirts and merchandise all over the floor. And I was just not happy with that. So I went back to reception and I told them, you know, sorry, we need a different room. And they said, well, we don't have a different room. So pack up all your stuff, bring it, you know, put it in the baggage storage. And then when you're done with the parks or whatever you're going to do today, we'll have a solution for you. So let's see what happens.
This is our upgraded pool view.
How could they call that a pool view room? Okay, so I've done fast forward with my jacket. Oh yeah. All right, there's another surprise coming up, another fail on the part of Morgan.
And that's that.
A very skinny looking Morgan.
Update on the room situation. They did find us an available room, and they told us to be sure to check that we have everything with us.
I remember this now. I remember this moment. I remember doing this.
Our old room, our keys won't work for it anymore. Who forgot their jacket in the old room?
I did.
Yes, I did.
This new room was so much nicer.
Out of the old room into a fabulous new room. Now we're waiting at the bus stop to head over to Animal Kingdom, our first Disney park of the trip. And here's something new since the last time we were here. I don't know if this is just at this resort or if all the resorts have it now, but there is a info screen that shows when the next buses will come. I've never seen that before, but I find it a very welcome improvement.
You know what I'm just realizing as I watch this?
This entrance area in Animal Kingdom,
And maybe I'm just overly sensitive to it or overly aware of it. Let me stop this for a second. Is I know that back then, because I had a couple bad experiences with motion sickness, like on Harry Potter's Forbidden Journey and stuff like that, I thought that I was just altogether having a problem with motion sickness on rides. So I started taking like Dramamine every morning when we were at the parks to make sure that I didn't like ruin my day because of motion sickness. And as I watch this, I can tell that I took it that day because there's, I don't know, I feel like there's something about my eyes, about my facial gestures that seems kind of stoned. I don't know how else to explain it. I definitely notice it here. I just feel like I'm not as animated and not as expressive as I like am now. You know what I mean?
Park. I guess from what I understand, they built it to be purposefully confusing because they want it to seem like it's just a natural system of caves and pathways here, and you just happen to run into beautiful parrots and other animals on your way in. And eventually you get to this bridge and the Tree of Life.
By the way, we don't spend the whole day at Animal Kingdom, so if you're like, gosh, he just did a video about Animal Kingdom, we go to Magic Kingdom later.
An Animal Kingdom nowadays.
I know that from the thumbnail, not because I remember doing it. Okay, got some burgers. Oh, that's right. So, this guy came, we're at this Pizzasaurus restaurant. I think that's where that is. Well, we're at this restaurant, right? And we were sitting outside on this like terrace or sort of like porch area. And this guy came out of the restaurant to have a telephone conversation. And there was a lot of open space there where he could go. And he literally stood like right next to us on the railing. The distance he was away from us was as if he was part of our group. That's how close he was. But we didn't know him, and he wasn't talking to us. He was talking on the telephone, but like this far away from us. And it was so weird. And he was talking about some program with some kind of money he was making and how successful it had been. And it just was so weird. Let's watch what I say about it.
For about the last 5 minutes,
look at him.
Here, this guy is standing right next to us, even though there's plenty of places to go stand. And making a loud telephone call. We know all about the incentives that he's offering his second-year students, I think, or second-year employees. At least he turned his head in the other direction now because he was literally standing right there, facing us, talking on his telephone.
Some people just have no sense of personal space, you know, or they don't care. We've talked about this a lot.
By the way, if you're a fan of musicals, then you definitely should come and see Finding Nemo because it's really, really good. I feel like I say that about just about everything. I say it's really, really good, or you definitely have to see it, but this is one of the things that I think is really good and you definitely have to see it.
And unfortunately, we know now that the live shows at Disney World in Florida, almost every cast member of every show has now been laid off indefinitely. So, yeah, that's sad. Sorry to talk about sad things, but just not happy times for them right now. But I'm sure that, you know, something that is as amazing and unique as this musical, the Finding Nemo musical, it will return. It has to return.
This VIP seating worked out really well because this is my seat and this is the stage.
Such a good show, so colorful, so full of emotions too. It was one thing that when I went with my nieces and nephew, I was so happy we got to see it again. Cool music, Morgan, in 2015. Oh, I would love to be there right now, but under normal circumstances. Right now, how it is right now, I actually wouldn't really like to be there.
Standby line for Expedition Everest, and we're in the station, basically the next people to get on the ride, and then they had to shut it down and evacuate the whole line, so there's some big problem. I don't know what's going on, but interesting. We got these, which are
Paper
like
fast
the
passes.
good old-fashioned fast passes and not like this magic band system. So these things do still exist. Imagine that you work on this ride or someplace close by and you have to listen to this sound all day long.
Yeah, horrible. But so as we know, that ride also has been closed forever. It's still standing there. Some people wrote in the comments last week because I asked you about it. It's still built there, this roller coaster, but Disney has announced it will never open again.
The important word in this sentence is scary because it is dark and scary. And every time we're here, we see parents outside of the ride comforting, screaming, crying, terrified little kids and saying something like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, honey, I didn't know it was that scary." Well, there it is.
True. And it's true. I still see it every time.
Not our dino. After riding Indiana Jones at Disneyland now, it just does not come anywhere close.
Indiana Jones at
is far more
Disneyland
on every,
or at Tokyo Disney
every
is
level.
just such a better use of that ride system. Great big crocodile. All right, so we're moving on to the next park. I'm pretty sure it's the Magic Kingdom. But before we get there, please forgive me for putting a little commercial break right here. A lot of people have been saying that their ads have been they've been political ads, and I just want to let you guys know that I have nothing to do with that. I can sort of manipulate YouTube into putting ads in specific places in the videos, but what the ads are about, I have nothing to do with that. So I'm sorry that you guys have been annoyed by political ads, but I have nothing to do with it. I just want to say that. So we're actually at the resort here.
Good things are happening. I told you before that
It's Port Orleans.
Even though they reminded me several times, I managed to
Forgot my jacket in the
our
old
room
dirty
before we
room.
moved to the new room. And when we went to the front desk now to tell them that that I left my jacket there, they told us that they automatically found it and just moved it to our new room. Good things are
Really
happening.
good
Now we're
service.
gonna get changed because tonight after Magic Kingdom we're going to the California Grill where we've never been, and you have to be kind of fancy schmancy dressed up there, and we're not fancy schmancy at the moment. So I think actually we're just gonna put on a shirt with a collar and call it a day.
You know, this, like I've said in the other
I'm
videos,
fancy now.
sometimes this feels like it was just like last year, and at other times this feels like so long ago. Excuse me. Oh, Magic Kingdom with the crane. What was the crane there for? Because the new Fantasyland was finished, wasn't it? Oh, Space Mountain. Oh, I miss Space Mountain. I still had that backpack until like this year, I think. That backpack lasted a long time.
Attack of the Seagulls.
Splash Mountain before we knew it was going to be changed to something else.
Oh, it's closed. We had fast passes for Big Thunder, but it's down at the moment, and the woman told us that if we go to, she gave us a handful of attractions, but we picked Pirates of the Caribbean, and she said if we go there and scan our bands, then our fast passes will automatically be
And I think this didn't
accepted
work.
there too.
I think it didn't work.
What we're doing now. See? But that didn't work, so look
Yep.
where we are now.
Jungle Cruise. Look at how close everybody's sitting together. That seems so, like when you see that nowadays, like, I don't know about you, but automatically I'm like, what are all those people doing sitting so close together? But it's 2015, so. The backside of water.
So it'll work
All right, so we did go back to Pirates, and I remember explaining to them that because our Fast Pass for Big Thunder didn't work, and she's like, yeah, so go ahead, scan it. And she flipped a switch, and then it worked. By the way, I don't know if I've talked about this a lot, but I really love the Pirates attractions at the Disney parks, and the version in Paris is in many, many ways better than the version in Florida. Just so you know, if you ever have the chance to go to Disneyland Paris and ride Pirates attraction there, I think you'll agree with me that it's in many ways better than the Florida version. And every time we go to Florida, I'm kind of disappointed by it. I'm like, gosh,
now that it's getting dark
this
out,
can be so
but
much better,
time has
like it
come
is in Paris.
to go explore one of the main reasons
I'm wearing
we
a
came to
scarf
Florida, the newest
and a
thing
sweater.
here at the
Cold.
Magic Kingdom, the new Fantasyland.
Yay.
Haven't seen it yet, and I've tried to sort of shield myself from a lot of the information in the internet and TV and stuff like that because I like to see things for the first time and be surprised and not know everything about it before I get there sometimes. Like Diagon
I still do
Alley
that.
and Gringotts, I did the same
Like,
thing.
for
Try to
instance,
ignore everything.
I have never watched a video of the Tron coaster. I know how it starts and I know it goes outside, but what happens when it goes back inside? I still have been successful about not watching that so that when I ride it, I'm going to be surprised for the first time. It's something I really love to do as an adult, to like, I don't know, I still like to be surprised, you know what I mean? So, like, we're going to ride the Seven Dwarves Mine Train, and I had no idea what was going to happen. Let's continue.
The internet, not look at it, so I was completely surprised, had no idea what to expect, and that's kind of the way it is now with the new Fantasyland. I know the attractions that are there. Of course, I know about Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, but I've never watched an on-ride video.
Okay, so I'm just repeating now what I said
and
a couple minutes ago.
Check it out
A
now
couple
for the
seconds
first
ago.
time.
Oh, that is such a pretty area by that bathroom.
There it is behind me. My gosh, it's huge. How far back does it go?
It's
there's
such a
castle up
huge
there.
area.
I think that's Belle's castle.
It is.
And I apologize for the poor quality of the videos now. It's getting pretty dark out here, and I'm just sort of fascinated by trying to look at everything, so I'm probably going to not talk very much for the rest of this video. Some of you might like that, some of you might not.
What is that? Oh, the Enchanted Tales with Belle show. Also so cool. Such a cool, magical way to like kind of be immersed in the Beauty and the Beast story.
That was so cute.
So this is the Voyage of the Little Mermaid ride. You know, every time I ride the Little Mermaid ride, I always think, oh, it's so short, but it's actually like 6 minutes long. I don't know, it just seems to go by really quickly. Fireworks. Don't do that at Disney now. Those nighttime shows at Disney are so special. Oh my gosh, look at all those people so close together. And you know what? I do remember it being really cold. Like wishing I had my winter jacket, just because it probably was like in the 50s, but when it's so humid, that Florida humidity makes it feel
Hey
colder.
everybody, sorry, but I've got to cut
Oh,
this video
I'm
now
back at home.
because we spent so much time exploring the Contemporary Resort before we went to dinner that if I were to include all that, plus dinner, plus what happened afterwards, this video would be like a half an hour long, and nobody watches half-hour YouTube videos.
They do now.
Isn't
Isn't that interesting? I talked about that, I think, last week.
Music video version of the entire day, including an extra extra vlog that you won't see on any of the other videos. And please write in the comments below what you think of these new, like, super extended version videos. And of course, give me a thumbs up and subscribe.
That's definitely
if you haven't
changed.
subscribed yet. I just yesterday uploaded a bunch of pictures from Magic Kingdom to my Facebook page, so you can check that out too. And check me out on Instagram and Twitter and
Blah, blah, blah,
all
blah.
the other places. And
I'm pretty sure I don't say anything
even
else
longer.
important
Anyways,
here.
I'm Morgan from the Very Unofficial Travel Guides, and I will see you soon. Bye.
That level of noise on that ride was crazy. That was a lot of fun for me. I hope you had a lot of fun too. I'm not done yet. Just some thoughts. You know, I remember at the time being like, oh my gosh, this video is so long. I can't upload a half-hour video to YouTube. Nobody's gonna watch it. And how times have changed. This was sort of like in between the times when I first started uploading like Disney videos and stuff to YouTube, or all the information recommended that you don't upload anything that's longer than like 4 minutes, I think, because that would just, people would see how long it was and not click on it. And nowadays I feel like if you see somebody uploaded a video, join us for our day at Disney, and it's only 3 minutes long, nobody would click on that because it'd be like, what's that gonna be? So it's interesting that I took a video that was half an hour long. I don't know, I'll have to check out the second part sometime. And I cut it in the middle because I thought it was too long and left it at 15 minutes and 39 seconds. Yeah, that was fun. And this is something that I've been, you know, I enjoy doing it just for myself, to relive the memories, especially now that I won't be going to Disney again anytime soon, meaning at least not in November, and most likely, well, definitely not in December. Who knows? Let's see what happens. But also, I hope that you enjoy it too. Like I said, next week I'm gonna do something a little bit different. Please give me your feedback about these kind of videos, and if you have a specific video that you'd really, really like me to do this for, then let me know as well. But that being said, now comes a time on Sunday Sofa Time where I comment on your comments live on air. In last week's Sunday Sofa Time, I hopped in the time machine again. We did another rewind video to my oldest video of Animal Kingdom, like the first time that I visited this new park. The quality of the video is horrible. It's only like 5 minutes long, and you almost don't see me at all. It was so interesting just to see how things have evolved. Not only the quality, but like the length and the way that, I don't know, the way that people make YouTube videos now, including the way I did it. So these comments are on that video. And like I said, if you write a comment on this video, you might be featured on the end of next week's video too. So first one is from Monique Smits. Monique writes, in 2007, there was an attack by a silverback in the Rotterdam Zoo. Google Boquito and you can read the whole story. What Monique means is, in the video from last week, we walk through one of these jungle walks, and there's a really fantastic, gigantic display of silverback gorillas, and I find them fascinating and terrifying at the same time. Like, I get shaky knees around them just because they're so powerful. And Monique writes, there was an attack. And I should Google it to find out about it. And you know what, Monique?
No.
I don't want to read about it. I don't need to hear anything like that. She also writes, I really enjoy your videos. Greetings from Amsterdam. Well, hi, thank you very much. And yeah, thank you for taking the time to write that comment. And I hope you're okay over there in Amsterdam. And I don't know, is your country also going into lockdown? Next comment is from Superstarian Knows How. And they write, Morgan, I said I would not skip ads on your channel. However, I draw the line at one that is 32 minutes. Come on, YouTube, why would you think this is acceptable? Just so you guys know, it does help me when the ads show up, but you don't have to watch the entire ad. I don't think that really makes any difference at all. The only thing that makes a difference is if you actually click on it and go to the web page of the product that's being advertised. I know that makes a difference, but please don't spend 32 minutes watching a YouTube ad. I wouldn't. So Superstarian writes, I love the rewind concept. I would love to see more. You will. Finally, I guess I missed some of the 2020 Disney World videos. I do not remember seeing the Star Wars ones. Yeah, I haven't gotten to them yet. So those videos will also be coming up sometime within the next couple of weeks or months here on the Very Unofficial Travel Guides. Something to look forward to. And I'm gonna look forward to editing them together as well and sort of reliving the memories as I'm putting them together for you. Final comment is from Leslie Chernoff. Leslie writes, I took my 3 young kids to Animal Kingdom right after a hurricane in 1996. So that must have been like right after it opened, right? I think it opened in 1995, didn't it? 92? Geez, sorry, very unofficial travel guides. And you brought back so many memories. Clap, clap, clap. I just want you to know, smiley face with sunglasses. Well, Leslie, thank you for that feedback. And you know, it always makes me feel good to know that what I do also is pleasurable for all of you. So thank you so much for that feedback. Like I said, check back next week for next week's sort of interesting Sunday sofa time. I don't know, let's see what I put together. There's gonna be other videos from my cruises going online between now and then, so make sure you check back for those as well. I'm Morgan from the Very Unofficial Travel Guides, and that's that.